Hi everyone, welcome this chapter DHCP Service Dynamical Host Control Protocol or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. The Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol for IPv4 service automate the assignment of IPv4 addresses, subnet mask, gateway, and other IPv4 networking parameters. This is referred to as dynamic addressing. The alternative to dynamic addressing is static addressing. When using static addressing, the network administrator manually enters IP addresses information on host. When a host connects to the network, the DHCP server is contacted and an address is required or request. The DHCP server chooses an address from a configured range of address called a pool and assign leases it to the host. On large network or where the user population changes frequently, DHCP is preferred for address assignment. New users may arrive and need connection. Others may have new computers that must be connected. Rather than use static addressing for each connection, it's more efficient to have IP4 address assigned automatically using DHCP. DHCP can allocate IP address for a configurable period of time, called a lease period. The lease period is an important DHCP setting. When the lease period expires of the DHCP server gets a DHCP release message, the address is returned to the DHCP pool for reuse. Users can freely move from location to location and easily re-establish network connection through DHCP. As the figures show, various types of devices can be DHCP server. The DHCP server in most medium to large networks is usually a local, dedicated PC-based server. With home networks, the DHCP server is usually located on the local router that connects the home network to the ISP. Take a moment with this image. This is a great image to see how the devices connect to the internet. Mobile worker DHCP client attach or connect with this device in a wirelessly form. Router DHCP server ISP1, ISP2, ISP3. Remember, ISP is Internet Service Provider. This is the Internet Service Provider Dynamic Host Control Protocol Server. Okay. Corporate Network Local DHCP Server. This is a switch and the clients. And this is other server, DHCP server, home and small business network. Okay. Many networks use both DHCP and static addressing. DHCP is used for general-purpose hosts, such as end-user devices. Static addressing is used for network devices, such as gateway router, switches, servers, and printers. DHCP for IPv6 provides similar service for IPv6 clients. One important difference is that DHCP version 6 does not provide a default gateway address. This can only be obtained dynamically from the router advertisement message of the router. The next point is DHCP message. As shown in the figure, when an IPv4 DHCP configured device boots up or connects to the network, The client broadcasts a DHCP discover message to identify any available DHCP server on the network. A DHCP server replies with a DHCP offer message, which offers a list to the client. The offer message contains the IPv4 address and subnet mask to be assigned, the IPv4 address of the DNS server, and the IPv4 address of the default gateway. The list offer also includes the duration of the list. Okay, this is the steps of the connection to the DHCP server. In the first step, the DHCP client sent a DHCP discover, and the next step, the DHCP server sent the offer. The next step, the client sent the request, and the last step, the server sent the pack with the IP address, with the subnet mask, with the default gateway. The client may receive multiple DHCP offer messages if there is more than one DHCP server on the local network. Therefore, it must choose between them and sends DHCP request messages that identify the explicit server and list offer that the client is accepting. A client may also choose the request an address that it had previously been allocated by the server, assuming that the IPv4 address request by the client or offered by the server is still available. The server returns a DHCP acknowledgement DHCP pack message that acknowledges to the client that the list has been finalized. If the offer is no longer valid, then the select server responds with a DHCP negative acknowledgement. Okay, DHCP NAC message. If a DHCP NAC message is returned, then the selection process must begin again with a new DHCP discover message being transmitted. After the client has the list, it must be renewed prior to the list expiration through another DHCP request message. The DHCP server ensures that all IP addresses are unique. The same IP address cannot be assigned to different network devices simultaneously. Most ISPs use DHCP to allocate address to their customers. DHCP version 6 has a set of messages that is similar to those for DHCP version 4. The DHCP version 6 messages are solicit, advertise, information, request, and reply. Finish with check your understanding, true or false. DHCP clients initiate with the DHCP process by sending DHCP request message to available DHCP server. Again, true or false. Dynamic host configuration protocol clients initiate the DHCP process by sending. Okay, this is true. Okay, the correct answer is false. There are four DHCP messages exchanged between clients and servers. The clients initiate the DHCP process with a DHCP discover message to available DHCP servers. Okay, this is my bad. Reset and false. This is discover, no request. Okay, my bad. The next question, which of the following best describe DHCP? Okay, this is the correct answer. DHCP automate the assignment of IP address subnet mask, gateway, and other IPv4 network parameters. Okay, again, the DHCP automate the assignment of IP addresses, subnet mask, gateway, and other IPv4 network parameters. ARP, address resolution protocol, remember, automate the process for discovering the MAC address of the destination. DNS, domain name system or service, automate the process for discovering the IP address for a domain name. NAT, network address translation. Repeat, network address translation. Automate the translation of private and public IP address. Question 3. What is the correct order for the message in the DHCP operation? Discover, okay, discover, offer, request, okay, discover, offer, request. The correct order of message for DHCP operation is discover, offer, request, and NAC. Okay. IP addressing service summary. What did I learn in this module? Okay. Well, in the first point is IP addressing service. In a data networks, devices are labeled with numeric IP address to send and receive data over networks. Domain names were created to convert the numeric address into a simple, recognizable name. The DNS protocol define an automate service that match resource name with the required numeric network address. The DNS protocol communication uses a single format called a message. This message format is used for all types of client request and server response, error message, and the transfer of resource record information between servers. The DNS service or server store different types of resource record that are used to resolve names. These records contain the name, address, and type of record. DNS use the same message format between servers, consisting of a question, answer, authority, and additional information for all types of client requests or queries and server response, error message, and transfer and resource record information. DNS use domain name to form the hierarchy. The naming structure is broken down into zones. Each DNS server maintains a specific database file and is only responsible for managing name to IP mapping for that small portion of the entry DNS structure. When a DNS server receives a request for a name translation that is not within the DNS zone, the DNS server forwards the request to another DNS server within the proper zone for translation. DNS is scalable because hostname resolution is spread across multiple servers. Computer operating systems have a utility called NSLOOKUP that allow the user to manually query the name server to resolve a given host name. This utility can also be used to troubleshoot name resolution issues and to verify the current status of the name server. When the nslookup command is used, the default DNS server configured for your host is displayed. The name of a host or domain can be entered at the nslookup prompt. On large networks, the HTTP is preferred for addressing a segment. Rather than use static addressing for each connection, It's more efficient to have IPv4 address async automatically use DHCP. DHCP can allocate IP address for a configurable period of time called a lease period. When the lease period expires of the DHCP server gets a DHCP release message, the address is returned to the DHCP pool for reuse. Users can freely move from location to location and easily re-establish network connection through DHCP. DHCP version 6 provides similar service for IPv6 clients. One important difference is that DHCP version 6 does not provide a default gateway address. This can only be obtained dynamically from the router advertisement message of the router. When an IPv4 DHCP configured device boots up or connect to the network, the client broadcasts a DHCP discover message to identify any available DHCP server on the network. A DHCP server reply with a DHCP offer message, which offer a list to the client. The client sends a DHCP request message that identifies the explicit server and list offer that the client is accepting. Assuming that the IPv4 address request by the client or offer by the server is still available, the server returns a DHCP pack message or DHC pack that acknowledges to the client that the list has been finalized. If the offer is no longer valid, then the selected server responds with a DHCP NAC message. If a DHCP NAC message is returned, then the selection process must begin again with a new DHCP discover message being transmitted. DHCP version 6 has a set of messages that is similar to those of DHCP version 4. The DHCP version 6 messages are solicit, advertise, information, request, and reply. Webster reflection question. Another module done. What did you learn in this module about IP addressing service? Before talking with this, sorry, Before talking this module, did you think about the DNS protocol defining an automate service that match resource name with the required numeric network address? Did you know the difference between static addressing and DHCP? I really learned a lot and hope you did too. IP addressing service quiz. The first question: which network service automatically assigns IP address to device on the network? This is the DHCP. A host PC has just voted and is attempting to list an address through DHCP. Which two messages will the client typically broadcast on the network? Okay, this is discover and request. Refer to the exhibit. Host A is trying to resolve the name to internal Cisco to an IP address. Okay, internal Cisco. When the name resolution request is received by a root DNS server, which server will be included in the response for further resolution? Okay, with server root a4.com. Which statement is true about DHCP operation? If the client receives several DHCP offer messages from different servers, it sends a unicast DHCP request message to the server from which it chooses to obtain an IP information. Okay. Question 5. Which DHCP version 4 message will a client send to accept an IPv4 address that is offered by a DHCP server? Okay. And which protocol translate a website is DNS? What type of information is contained in a DNS-MX record? The domain name mapped to mail exchange service. Question 4. A technical is adding a new PC to a LAN. After you packing the components and making all the connections, the technique start the PC. After the operating system load, the technique can open a browser and verify that the PC can reach the internet. Why was the PC able to connect to the network with no additional configuration? Okay, the PC was pre-configured to use DHCP. This is an option. The next question, which network server is malfunctioning if a user can ping the IP address of a web server but cannot ping the web server host name? Okay, I need to translate this answer. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, the DNS server. Refer to the exhibit which protocol allow a user to type instead. Okay, this is the DNS, domain name system. Question 11. What action does a DNS server take if it does not have an entry for a request URL? Okay, the server check with another DNS server to see if it has an entry. Submit. Okay, you score 82%. Congratulations, you have passed the test. Okay, what is my bad? Okay, this is my bad, and this is my bad. Okay, okay, I think this is the good answer. And I don't know what is the great answer in this. Well, this is all for this. See you in the next one. Bye.